Hi guys, we're going to be learning about meiosis today. It's a process like mitosis, except for you're going to be making four gametes or haploid cells, which would be like sperm for males or eggs. So you're not just making any cell due to like the fact that you need to replicate a cell. You're actually making specifically half the amount of chromosomes so that you can pass it on through sexual reproduction. All right. Okay, so the standard that we're going to be doing today is describe the process of meiosis, including crossing over, which I'll go into, and explain how it results in the formation of haploid gametes or spores. We're going to focus more on haploid gametes now because we haven't really learned much about plants, but we'll be getting to that soon. Okay, so let's get into an introduction. So we're going to know the difference between haploid and diploid. Haploid is a single set of chromosomes, so you're going to have half the amount of chromosomes as a normal cell. After the meiosis, you will create four haploid cells, a sperm or an egg. Sperms are from males. They continuously create after puberty. And the egg, which is from females, you're born with all your eggs. So males are always going through meiosis. Females, there was a study done with mice that it is possible to make eggs after birth, even into adulthood, but you would have to have the perfect diet and it's a whole thing. So your haploid eggs, your haploid cells. Diploid cells are the cells we learned about mitosis. So, and I'll show you these diagrams in a minute. Those are two sets of inherited chromosomes. So you're gonna have the full 46 chromosomes. And you will have two, after mitosis, you have two diploids. So this is mitosis, right? This would be metaphase. It kind of skips ahead. But, you can see how you have two cells at the end. They both have, so you start with 46, or here, I'm sorry, you start with 46 and you end with 46. Here, for meiosis, you start with 46 and you're actually going to go through meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So you go through it twice, so you replicate twice, and you end up with four haploid cells, which have half the amount of chromosomes that you start off with. So 23, 23, 23, 23. This is how you do that. So just as a review, because some of us are still like confusing, I feel like interphase and mitosis. So in meiosis, you're still going to go through interphase. Interphase includes G1, S, and G2. So that's all you have to write right now. I do have in that diagram the M phase, just write M phase, and then cytokinesis. So it's going to go through the same process, except for in meiosis, it's going to go through this twice. You still need to get bigger. You still need to duplicate the number of chromosomes, and you still need to replicate everything else that you need. So you need to grow, replicate chromosomes, and replicate everything in the cell. Okay, so meiosis, again, so you're going to start off, there's meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. That's why I want to show this picture. So this would be like how a male would create sperm. It's called spermatogenesis. You start off with 46 chromosomes. After meiosis 1, you'd have two cells, and with 23. And then you would end up with four haploid cells, or sperm, after meiosis 2, with 23 chromosomes. So you're start with 46 and it would be 23. It's for a human. So just know that if they give you like let's say in the EOC, they give you like any other example, it'll just be half. Okay. So meiosis 1 includes all the phases of mitosis, except for we have some new things. It's going to start crossing over. But we're going to end up with two diploid cells. All right, so the first one is prophase 1. So we call it prophase 1 because we're only in meiosis 1. It goes through everything twice. Same is going to the chromosome line up with homologous chromosomes. So there is a difference. So prophase, everything's become visible, just like in mitosis, except for in this instance, all homologous. Homologous basically means that all the chromosomes that share similar traits. So let's say the chromosomes for hair in general, they're going to get together from mom. So this one's from my dad and this one's from mom. They're all going to pair up. So they're all going to pair up and then they're going to swap DNA. So what this does is creates an environment for more for different types of human beings, which gives you more. It gives you more of a chance for survival because you have such an array of people. We'll go over that more in genetics, but so they're going to line up together. and then crossing over occurs. So bits and pieces are going to switch over between each other, and the homologous chromosomes are exchanged. So now, no matter when we're splitting up, because we're going to be splitting up soon, right, making 4 cells, and chromosomes are going everywhere, you'll have a little bit of mom and a little bit of dad in all your cells. It just depends on which one you were created from. So metaphase 1 is the same. They're all going to line up in the middle, but they're still together. The homologous pairs are together. You see how there's like this would be like mom and a little bit of dad's DNA. This would be dad and a little bit of my mom's DNA because they're crossing over, but that already happened. But they're just going to line up in the middle, and the spindles are going to attach, okay, to each chromosome. Anaphase 1, spindles are going to pull the homologous pair towards the opposite end. So now basically those 2 homologous pairs that are in the middle are going to be split up. So it's like, see ya, they're split up. But what's cool about it is because of crossing over, you have a little bit of both DNA on each side, in each of those cells. Telophase 1 is exactly the same. A nuclear envelope is going to form around each cluster of chromosomes. And then meiosis 2, I forgot, I don't have cytokinesis, but cytokinesis would be on here. And cytokinesis essentially would be, now you have 2 cells. Okay, so meiosis 2, we're going to go from those 2 cells now to 4. And they will have 23 chromosomes, a little bit from both parents. Okay, so prophase 2. So we call it prophase 2 because we're in meiosis 2. The chromosomes will become visible in both cells. So you're going to be able to see both. Metaphase 2, chromosomes in both cells line up in the middle. So I did find a picture that was flopped just in case they show you this. It doesn't always, like, it has to be in the middle. It can be in the middle this way or in the middle this way, but it just has to line up in the middle. So all of them. So this is really similar to mitosis. The only difference is only 23 are lining up in the middle instead of 46 because they all got split up to half. Anaphase 2, spindles are going to spindle fibers pull chromosomes apart and towards opposite ends. So that X is now, the X has now been separated, and they're going to go into opposite ends of the cell. Telophase 2, nuclear envelope forms around each cluster. And then cytokinesis, you have 4 haploid cells. So if you looked at it from far, you'd be like, oh, it looks similar to mitosis, except for the fact that because we went through it twice, there's only 23 chromosomes in each, and you had crossing over occur, so you have DNA in each cell from mom and dad. Okay, so that's pretty much all meiosis. So just like as a review, like why do you need that? For sexual reproduction, right? So you'd have an egg. Otherwise, what would happen is every generation you would multiply in chromosomes. So you want to make sure you have the chromosomes every time. You also want to make sure you do crossing over because then you have a lot more genetic variation, which is what helps. That's why humans have been so successful, and life has been successful, because there's a lot of different types of humans for survival. Like if that doesn't work, then maybe this will work. Anyway, so you have the egg with 23 chromosomes, sperm with 23 chromosomes. When fertilization occurs, they will combine both DNA. So if you think about it, so this zygote has DNA from, which is interesting, grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, you know what I mean? There's so many DNA going on there. So that's why like some kids will look like a grandparent. Like my son looks a lot like his grandpa. And then you have your zygote. So that's just a rundown. I think that's it. Yeah, we're good. So we are going to practice this. Don't worry. Make sure you answer all your questions, and great job, guys.